Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back for some more Mob Psycho 100 Mobe. Getting some Mobe today. Been missing my little angel mob. Hopefully he doesn't get corrupted by his little brother Ritsu. Been giving Ritsu a hard time. I know he's going through some tough time as an angsty teenager, but man, compared to Mob, man, I mean, why can't he just be like his older brother? But yeah, been missing me some Mob Psycho 100. A lot of good anime out recently. You know, if y'all haven't seen, watching some other anime on the channel, you know, keeping up with Demon Slayer, which has been fun this year. Training arc's been sick. One Piece is in full swing right now. If you guys watch any of those shows, check out the reactions for those, because both of those are pretty exciting right now. Just to recap the points from the last episode though, we gave MVP to Taruki, and we gave him Funniest Moment as well, just because of his, you know, him kind of starting a little bit of a redemption arc and warning Ritsu of the danger of just leaning into your psychic powers. And then the funniest moment it was with his hair. The crazy wig he has on now. He looks pretty funny. Best moment went to Ritsu last episode with kind of the narrative that the author was talking about with freedom. Really interesting. Check out the analysis section or the review section of the last episode to get more information or more detail on that. It was a pretty interesting episode to discuss more in depth. Yeah, I hope y'all having a really good week. This should be up on Friday, so hopefully y'all are going into your weekend and are excited for some time off from work or school or whatever y'all are doing. But I'm excited to watch some Mob Psycho with some friends. So let's go ahead and get into this reaction.
本当に超能力者って少ないのね。こんなに中高人がいるのに、一人もピンとこないなんて。あなたまさか私を騙してないでしょうね。本当にいないだけですよ。
Oh, you know what I just realized? The esper they saw is probably the one that was looking down at Ritsu. Oh, Taruki. Dude, are they gonna become friends? Oh no. God, I'm so nervous for Mob, dude. He's gonna be heartbroken. Oh no. Dimple-sama. Dimple-sama Ritsu. 7, 8, 9, 10. Sorry, I'm hyped this morning. A little hyper.
兄さん、なぜここに？リツこそここで何してるの？なんだ弟か。なんで来たの？周りに倒れてる人たちは誰？リツがやったの？
Yep, he sure did.
リツ。
He's savage, bro.
そう、僕がやった。
よそ様の兄弟喧嘩を眺めるほど野暮じゃ。
本当にリツがこれを？本当だよ。嘘だ。リツがこんなことするわけないよ。だって大体。
He's trying to rationalize it.
僕がやったんだ。僕は超能力を手に入れたんだよ。待てリツ、相手は死にようだぞ。エクボは黙ってろよ。万能感に溺れ。
Yeah.
これだからガキは嫌いなんだ。負ける戦に付き合う気はねえ。エクボ。もう感覚はつかんだ。兄さん、僕は大事なことに気がついたんだ。リツ、どうしたの？
Dude, this is so sad, dude. Bro, why?
外した。おめでとう。ずっと使いたがってたもんね。
Oh man, dude, Mob is so sweet.
小さい頃にプーン曲げられなくて泣きじゃくってたの。まさか今になって。それはつい最近までも同じさ。いいから聞いてよ兄さん。
You just make me sad for some reason.
そして兄さんにも憧れていた。憧れなんてそれは大きな勘違いだったんだ。僕は兄さんに抱く劣等感と恐怖心に耐えられなくて、憧れだと思い込むことで自分を守っていたんだ。僕はあなたが怖かった。ストレスが溜まると何をしでかすかわからない。兄弟喧嘩なんてできたものじゃない。僕には兄さんの力から自分の身を守る術がないんだから。
Dude.
なるべく兄さんがストレスをためないように気を使ってきた。
Oh, poor Mob.
屈辱の過去だよ。ずっと努力はしてたんだ。気が狂いそうな自分を抑えながら。なのにの努力もしてない兄さんがなぜ。でも僕は手に入れた。でも恐れることはない。
Geez, so much resentment, man.
というか今となっては興味すら失せてしまった。仲良し兄弟はここで終わりだよ兄さん。
Dude, what the hell?
わかる。 それは嘘だ。ここで勝負しよう。僕に力をぶつけたっていいよ。でも本当なんだね。僕はリツの兄弟だ。リツ、半分は本当なんだろう。
Interesting.
うちの弟が怪我をさせてしまってどうもごめんなさい。今後とも仲良くしてやってください。
なんだとてめえ、そいつの兄貴かよ。
そうです。
そんなんで許されると思ってんのか。まずは土下座だろうがこれ。
やめろ。なんでだ兄さん。
Hmm.
何やってんだよ。
リツ、僕を突き放そうとしたって無駄だよ。兄弟なんだから。
Man, dude. Interesting, interesting.
標的発見の連絡から10分以上経ってるぞ。
Ooh. Is he part of a bigger organization?
さっと連れてこい。わかったよ。
Oh, jeez.
いや待て、念のため写真を
桜井
関係ないガキを連れてこられても困る。はいはい。バカにしやがって。俺はよ送ったぞ。確認した。そいつが影山修行で間違いない。
Oh.
データにある通りだ。大層な名前つけやがって口に出すのが恥ずかしいじゃないか。
Bro.
いいか、ヘマするなよ。情報を与えるほど面倒になるからな。遊ぶなよ。
Jesus, dude. Fucking decimated them all.
さてと
Look at that fucking lip ring.
シルティポイズン。兄貴をボコられたくなかったらお前が顔面を差し出しね。
待った、こんなことしちゃダメだよ。もう傷つけるのも傷つけられるのも。
ザコが図に乗るんじゃねえぞ、こら。
命令できんのは強いやつだけ。
一番強いやつがその
Hey, you guys just got wrecked, though.
でも滑稽な人たちだ。この場で一番強さを持つのは。
Oh, it's this guy? Dude, cool animation.
その通りだ。
Oh, shit.
一番
Ugh.
当たり前すぎて忘れがちな摂理だ。お前たちの物差しでは喧嘩が強ければ学を地区を制することができるのだろう。だがこいつは別格だ。
Oh, shit.
万が一にも勝つことは不可能だから同じ土俵から下ろしてやる。こいつは俺が預かる。
俺たちのエモン。
Bro, we sent him flying, dude. Dude, we need mob.
弟。
Oh, shit, dude.
兄さん。
強く当てすぎたか。まあ死んでたら運が悪かったな。そこのウド野郎、なんだその反抗的な目は。
いや別に見てただけじゃないですか。
土下座して俺に謝れ。
Yeah.
今までのドラマのおさらいだ。そうだ、お前ら全員土下座しろよ。
You just giving mob more time to get back up, bud.
土下座しないと全員殺す。
Damn, bro. I mean, he's just turning on them.
共にはいい教訓になっただろう。今後の廃れた人生に一つアドバイス。なるべく人様に迷惑をかけないよう。じゃあねクソガキども。
Jeez, that's an evil laugh.
あいつは
Oh, oh, bro. Let's fucking go. Ooh, this might actually be a fight. Here we go.
お前もか。
兄さん。
超能力持ちの兄弟がいるなんて聞いてねえぞ。
弟を離せ。
Dude, this is an actual fight. Here we go.
人に抜けちゃダメだ。けど今は別だ。
やめるなよ。
Dude, this guy's pretty strong.
思い出した。
Yeah.
この人、
Okay.
いつか見た大人の超能力者だ。
超能力者のガキにはそれ用のお仕置きの仕方ってもんがある。
What the heck? Telekinetic helix?
こういう大人になりたくない。
I want to become an adult like him. Ugh. Oh shit, no.
悪いな。
No, mob.
吸えない。お腹が熱い。
Oh shit, dude.
俺の技はお前のバリアを掘削機のようにうがって
兄さん。
さてよ弟を守るんだろ
Oh Jesus, dude.
兄さん。やめろ。
Come on, Ritsu, you gotta do something. Help him out.
もうやめてくれ。
Oh shit.
僕を連れて行け。それが目的なんだろ。だから。
賢明な判断だが俺は意地悪でねその顔が気に入らんな敵満々のその顔がな
Bro, this guy's fucked.
おいお前こんなの初めて
Yeah, let's see him explode, baby.
僕の敵
Dude.
俺が手をつかされた
あんなガキに
Let's go, dude. Oh shit. Yeah, let's see be an asshole now.
終わった僕たちにひどいことをした大人のお兄さん言っとくけどお前のせいだからな
Yeah, it is, dude.
二度と僕たちの前に顔を出すな
Ooh, he couldn't get through it this time. It's crazy how much stronger he gets when he explodes. Man, dude, this animation is nuts, bro. Look at this shit. It's so cool. What a cool style of animation. Like, it's so unique and beautiful too. Man, all these bullies are gonna be like mind blown. That guy's face is fucked up.
俺に多くの手まで使わせやがって
兄さん
Dimple's watching, yeah.
このままじゃやべえそうだあいつを連れてくれば
Yeah, you're just realizing that? Now they're rooting for him.
おいあれ白い T シャツだ
White tea poison! That's why they call him white tea poison?
白 T ポイズン能力での勝負は分が悪い仕方ねえ任務が最優先だしな刃物だ気をつけろうるせえガキが
しつこいなら終わらせてやる次でとどめだ
なんて分厚いバリアだこれじゃナイフが通らねえなんてな
Bro, what the fuck? Plays dirty.
道具に頼るのは不本意だくりもしてられねえ顔を見られたんだったな面倒だが全員消すしかないか
Dude, fuck this guy.
散々見物しておいて逃がすと思うかバカなこれ以上相手はできんお前は来い
God, dude.
俺たち助かったのか
I don't know. Mob's might not be in control here.
気絶したまま立って
彼から離れろ。まだ近づくのは危険だぞ。
お前はクロズ中の
彼をここまで追い詰めるなんて信じられない。ただものじゃないな。
Yeah.
人は遅かったか
これはヒマラヤ産の岩塩。パスタや肉にもよく。こいつを使って
We need Reagan to cheer us up a bit.
肩が重いんですよね。
占い師には何かが載ってるって言われて
言うだけ言って金取るのかよ。無責任な業。
How irresponsible. You would never do that, Reagan.
何を
幽霊は塩分に弱いですからね。あとこの耳元での騒音。静かな場所を好む。迷惑で離れたくなるはず。次に岩塩のゴツゴツを利用したマッサージ。こわばった筋肉
You know, loves his massages.
します。アロマオイルでリラックス効果を高めるとともに霊が
This is so
苦手な
ridiculous.
をかきます。
なん
心と体をリラックスさせ美容効果てきめんの
On a beauty trip. I can't, man. I can't.
なんだか若返った気がします。
それはやっぱ
I mean,
今回
he's talented.
モブが約束の時間を無断で破るなんて初めてだ。次会った時は説教だな。
Dude.
兄さん、何か悩みがあるなら言ってよ。いつでも相談に乗るから。
Oh, no, sad.
大丈夫兄さん。何か悩んでたら相談乗るよ。ありがとうリツ。でも大丈夫。
Sucks that all that wasn't really authentic, you know?
リツ、そうか。気づいてあげられなくてごめんね。
目が覚めたか影山くん。
花沢くん、ここは。
僕のアパートだ。話はエクボくんから聞いたよ。
よう茂雄。
エクボ、なんでリツと一緒に。
そりゃ
リツがさらわれたお前のせいなのか。
はいだ、俺あんなやつ知らね
僕は知っている。数年前から連中に付け狙われている。
え。だから中学生で一人暮らしなのか。
Yeah, I was about to say.
忠告してあげよう。奴らとは関わるな。
関わるなって。
死ぬよ。
Yeah, they are strong.
やばい超能力者が結託した組織爪
Claw.
革命を起こし世界転覆を目論んで、その組織力は群を抜いていて100人以上の超能力者を有している。
Over 100. Shit, dude.
100人。
人工的な超能力の開発を目指す施設は世界各地にたくさんある。でもその実験を成功させたのは世界でも爪だけだ。まだ成熟してない子供の超能力者を洗脳して兵隊に育て上げるらしい。
That's pretty fucked.
より力は劣るが舐めてかかると数で簡単に潰されるよ。以前僕をさらおうとした組織の人に聞いたから、そいつは念入りに懲らしめといてやったけど。
何にしても奴はヤバい世界の人間だったな。茂雄、お前下手したら殺されてたぞ。
知らないよ。
Yeah, he's not gonna
弟がさらわ
cares more about Ritsu.
助けに行く。
死にたいのか。
いや、全然勝てると思うから。
Maybe if you guys team up.
でもどうして君の弟なんだろうな。
ああ、そういえばお前らと奴隷が集まる研究所があるんだ。いつも最近そこに通ってた。
リツが。
そこから情報が漏れた。
Yeah.
確かめてみるか。嫌な予感しかしないが。
案内するぜ。
The psychic with the sword seems like he's gonna be really strong.
ひでえな、一般人相手に。
意識を飛ばされているが死んではいない。
Okay.
君たちは、奴はどこにいた？刀の男は。
こっちの質問が先だ。あんた影山律の情報を爪に売ったのか。
爪？なんだそれは。影山律。私が声をかけたのは影山茂雄君だ。
それは僕だ。
君が？
本当に律を覚醒させちまったな。
何がどうなってるんだ。くそ。せっかく研究に光明が見えてきたのに。
Yeah, he got boned, dude.
他の子たちは。
さらわれた私のせいなのか。
Oh.
あんな奴がいるなんて。
さらわれた子たちの力はどの程度だったんだ。
ちょっと待ってくれ。君たち。
So the naturals, baby.
何してんの花沢くん。
自己紹介。
Oh, dude, what an episode, man. That was crazy. And what, we got a little outro here? Is this Ritsu?
ほら草ガキども、さっさと降りろ。手引っ叩くぞ。強い以上に怖がらせるが使えなくなる。
影山、その怪我平気なのか。僕は大丈夫。でも今は抵抗しない。
Yeah. These guys are stronger than them, that's for sure. I mean, that guy went head to head with Mob. I mean, Mob in his 100 form was definitely stronger, but he was dangerous. Great episode, great episode. All right, everyone, episode 8 of Mob Psycho 100. Holy crap, I mean, that has to be the best episode so far. We got so much in that episode. Definitely the best fight sequence, in my opinion, of the whole show so far. I mean, I know we're only 8 episodes in, but I mean, I'm sure y'all could tell from my reaction. Man, it was so sick. Also got, really good moment with Ritsu and Mob, kind of Mob and, discovering Ritsu's psychic powers and kind of the interaction between the two of them. Love that part of the episode, but overall, things are just starting to pick up in terms of the plot We get information about this claw organization and whatnot. So there's a lot to talk about. Let's start with Mob and Ritsu's confrontation. I was very nervous about this confrontation since the last episode. The last episode definitely made me really nervous for Mob, to see Ritsu this way, to see how much animosity he actually has towards his older brother. And, you guys can tell I love Mob. He's an innocent little angel. And I was worried for the pain he was about to go through with seeing Ritsu like this. And we can see, Ritsu off the bat kind of shows Mob his power, right? And it's funny because Ritsu tells Mob, he's honest with Mob. He's like, hey, I'm the one who did all this. I beat up all these bullies. And Mob says he's lying. He doesn't believe him. Like, he doesn't want to believe him almost. But Ritsu shows Mob his psychic power. And, Mob kind of understands at that point. But he doesn't criticize Ritsu. He's happy for him. Like, genuinely, like, you see him light up and he's so happy for him because he knows how important this is to Ritsu, how much Ritsu has always wanted psychic powers. He might not understand the reason why for it, but he is just so genuinely happy for Ritsu. And you can see that shocks Ritsu. Ritsu's like, what? Like, I thought you would be like upset with me. And I love that moment so much. I mean, it's exactly why I love Mob. He really does care about the people around him. But from this, we get a little bit more dialogue between the two. Ritsu explains himself further about, how what Mob perceived as Ritsu wanting psychic powers, that, desire to have psychic powers because Mob had it and he admired Mob, was actually false, right? There was more to it. Really what it was that Ritsu was fearful of Mob and his psychic powers, and that's kind of why he wanted the psychic powers. I think there was some jealousy in there too, like wanting psychic powers. Part of that isn't really said, but the way that Ritsu presents it is that he's always kind of had an inferiority complex to Mob. So there's kind of that, brotherly, disconnect there, of comparing yourself, right? Him setting the standard for himself. But then there's also this fear around Mob's powers. He saw Mob explode that one time and hurt those guys who were trying to hurt them. And I think probably from that moment on, it became something more of a fear, right? I like the line where he said, we're brothers and we couldn't even fight, right? Like, yeah, like on paper, that doesn't sound like a bad thing, but like being on equal footing to your brother and maybe being able to have like hard, fights or difficult conversations or brothers fight when they're growing up kind of thing. That's not necessarily always unhealthy. That can be a good thing, right? Like, to sort out your animosity towards each other. And this is kind of the first time they're having a very honest conversation and being frank with each other about how they feel. And even though it's a really sad conversation, I kind of felt like it was a good thing for them, right? But it's interesting because it kind of makes a lot more sense. And Mob realizes this too, that Ritsu really always checking in on Mob to see how he's doing. Are you okay? You can talk to me, all these things. On paper, that seems like he's just being a really good brother. He cares about the way his brother feels. He wants to help him. But in reality, it was just a way to protect himself, right? He was scared, so he didn't want Mob to explode, so he was always kind of trying to manage Mob's emotions. And that's a really awful place to be as Ritsu, right? You shouldn't have to feel like you're responsible for someone's emotions ever. You should never have to feel like you're in danger from somebody else's emotions. So, I can have some empathy with Ritsu in this episode. I understand him a little bit better from, why he was acting out so much in the last episode. I think he's had a difficult time, and the fact that they haven't been honest with each other, has kind of festered and built up this fear and animosity more. One visual that I really wanted to call out to that I really loved, it's a small thing. It's not like it's focused on heavily in this episode, but as Ritsu's like talking about explaining more of his situation to Mob and how he's been scared of him. There's a really cool visual of Mob and him kind of filling in with this really dark blue color, around his silhouette. And it's such a good way to convey what Mob is feeling at the time, right? We don't necessarily see that Mob, or we don't get any internal dialogue that Mob is feeling sad by this, but you can tell it's just sadness, right? Like he's feeling blue, he's feeling down, he feels really sad for what Ritsu is saying, and that he hasn't seen this side of Ritsu, or that he didn't know that Ritsu was in pain. I just thought it was really good imagery, really, really cool and creative way for the animators to convey, Mob's emotions in this scene. But it's interesting because, Mob hears all this, but then he comes up to Ritsu and he says, I think half of that is true, right? So I think what Mob is saying, and I don't know for sure, I'm sure we'll get more of this, but from how I'm interpreting it, I think Mob obviously believes like what Ritsu's explained to him, that he's been scared of him, and that's why he's been checking in on him so much, kind of this good brother act, that he's held animosity. I think he believes Ritsu and all that, but I don't think he believes that Ritsu actually hates him, and that that this good little brother act is up. I think he knows that Ritsu is just feeling a lot from all of this, and that they're still brothers at the end of the day, that they still care about each other. But I'm curious on when we get back to this conversation at some point in this show, if Mob saves Ritsu and whatnot, kind of what the fallout of this situation is going to be more. But we could also see Mob shows Ritsu what he should be doing, right? He still goes up and apologizes. He bows down to the bullies and kind of submits himself to them, and he shows them the modesty you should have as a psychic, right? He's apologizing for in Ritsu's place to the bullies, saying, I'm sorry for my little brother's behavior, and showing him that, you shouldn't be hurting, especially non-psychics, with your powers. But yeah, let's jump to the juicy part of the episode, the fights. I'm gonna call we don't know the guy's name, at least I don't think they dropped it, the purple hooded esper, the adult esper versus Mob. Man, has to be some of the coolest animation I've ever seen in a fight ever. I mean, so cool. Like, I feel like the animation style of Mob Psycho is already really unique in the way that they draw on the colors and whatnot. But this fight especially was just beautiful. Smooth, huge contrast of colors. I mean, just so sick. I mean, you guys could tell from my reaction. I was hyped during that. But before the fight even starts, we get a little bit of information kind of about why this guy's coming after Ritsu. I guess he gets a call from, I think the name on the phone was Sakurai. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but that's the psychic esper with the sword. And he's attacked the organization that tracked down Ritsu to try to awaken his powers, right? And we flash to the guy, and he's taken down the whole organization. That guy seems super strong. A really interesting power, him controlling his sword with his psychic powers. Seems like that guy's gonna be a real problem. But they've gathered information. They're trying to basically kidnap Ritsu because he's one of the psychic kids from that program. But he comes down and takes out Ritsu right away, and this obviously infuriates Mob, and he punches Mob off the bat, but he doesn't realize that he's a psychic as well. And they start to fight, and he's impressed by Mob's powers, but he reveals a technique, which is telekinetic helix, which supposedly, kind of punches past the barrier, like the psychic barrier that Mob puts up to protect himself. And you can see this catches Mob off guard. He really beats the shit out of Mob. I was honestly super concerned for Mob at this moment. I was like, oh man, is this guy actually way stronger than Mob? Obviously in the back of my mind, I was thinking about an explosion, but I don't know. This is the first time that I felt Mob has truly been challenged, right? This guy was a danger to Mob. Mob got very hurt by this guy. And it was a good moment too, because we could see that Ritsu, the other half of the lie, right? And this is kind of why I interpreted, Mob saying that half of it is a lie from what Ritsu said, was because Ritsu still tries to save Mob. He still feels for Mob. He still feels like a brother to him. He goes and he's still calling him Nissan. All these. It's not like he's disowned him. He goes and tries to barter with the adult esper, the purple hooded esper, and says, you want me, take me. Don't hurt him anymore. And I love that scene. I think it's already a good little redemption for Ritsu to see that. But obviously at that moment, Mob explodes and we get just an amazing fight sequence. Mob exploding has always been sick, but this moment that fight was just incredible. Really puts it to this guy. The guy is completely shocked by how strong Mob is. You know, he couldn't get through his barrier anymore, even with the technique he was using, and Mob, you know, really does some damage to him. He even uses this energy bomb attack, which he thinks knocks Mob out, but Mob gets right back up. Again, you know, the power scale between regular Mob and his psychic powers was already super strong, and then when he explodes is definitely, there's definitely a big gap between those two things. And Mob seemed a bit more in control this time too, which was interesting. But in the end, this purple-headed Esper uses some cheese, man. He uses some cheesy tactics. He sprays Mob with some kind of weird spray, and it knocks him out. Well, at least originally knocks him out. And it's interesting because right afterwards, he says he's gonna have to silence all these bullies, you know, definitely basically implying that he's gonna have to kill them all. But Mob once again gets up, and even though he's like unconscious still, I guess, this scares the guy and he just runs off with Ritsu. So Mob really does save all of these people. Obviously he wasn't able to protect Ritsu from getting kidnapped, but still, Mob came in clutch here, man. I mean, he saved all of those people. But it's interesting too, when we flash to them going into Taruki's apartment, we get a flash to Mob, and you know, Mob we get internal dialogue about Mob, you know, kind of realizing what Ritsu had to go through more, right? We kind of get scenes of Ritsu checking in on Mob and his emotions, and you know, Mob apologized. He's like, I'm sorry, Ritsu, I'm sorry I didn't notice this earlier. You know, he can empathize with Ritsu already. He kind of understands what Ritsu went through, and instead of getting defensive, he empathizes with him. And I love that scene too, because you guys could tell from last episode, but I was definitely annoyed with Ritsu, right? And his, you know, it was just sad that he was going down this dark path, but it's understandable for this complex that he has, and the fear that he had towards Mob. And Mob doesn't think of Ritsu any differently. I love that so much. Once again, Mob just being a good brother, being a good human, you know? He's trying to understand Ritsu and looking at it from what he can do as a brother to him. But you know, when Mob wakes up in Taruki's place and they have a conversation about this organization, right? Organization Claw. I guess supposedly one of their members had come after Taruki at one point, and Taruki got information from him after he defeated him. But basically Claw is this big organization of espers. They have over 100 espers in the organization, and they are trying to lead a revolution. Obviously, they're on the shady side, so I'd assume it's probably one of those concepts where they believe that psychics are, you know, probably the evolved, better version of humans, and they want to make the rest of the humans subordinate to them. That's what I would theorize would be their goal. Maybe it'll be different than that, but they're obviously more on the evil side. You know, their main goal, the main way that they gather psychics is similar to the organization that scalped Ritsu, right? They gather up young espers whose psychic powers haven't really exactly been honed, and then they help awaken them more, but they kind of brainwash these kids to become soldiers. And I'm assuming that's their intention with Ritsu and the rest of those psychic kids who were very, very weak in the research organization that they had gone to. One very important bit of dialogue that we got too was that, you know, they're not as strong as naturals as Taruki calls them, right? I guess Mob and Taruki are kind of natural psychics. And even though they're very strong, they're not, I guess their natural power scaling isn't quite as strong as people like Mob and Taruki, but they have the numbers, right? They have strength in numbers, which, you know, that in itself, I mean, you could see it from the fight with Mob and the purple hooded Esper. The guy was no slacker, right? He gave Mob a good run. He made Mob explode. That was the only time Mob was actually able to kind of overcome him to a degree, and yet still he was able to trick him with that spray. So they're definitely very competent, and they're gonna be a strong antagonist for them to face on. All right, let's get into character ratings. MVP. I mean, MVP has to go to Mob this episode still. He has so many good moments, right? For him understanding Ritsu and empathizing with him and still sticking by his side, protecting him, how he submitted to the bullies to submit to them in Ritsu's place, the fight and how epic it was, and even more so him saving all the bullies, right? Like, once again, he just had so many great moments. He was the character in this episode that shined through to me. Best moment though, That's a tough one. It's either got to be the fight between Mob and the purple-headed Esper. I mean, that moment in general was incredible. But I think I'm going to give it to the best moment to Ritsu and Mob in their interaction. I thought that was the most interesting. And like I said, with the imagery of Mob's, like the blue overcoming his silhouette, I loved that scene so much. I thought that was really, really creative and kind of a scene that, you know, you might not look into a bunch, but I really, really loved it. So we'll give the best moment to Ritsu and Mob together in their interaction, so they'll both get a point for that. But yeah, just such a really good scene, and it didn't really turn out how I thought it would be, but I just loved Mob's response to it all. Funniest moment, definitely more of a serious episode, but obviously we get Reagan. We get Reagan, of course. We gotta give funniest moment to his new ability, Aroma Runway Express, the beauty spa treatment. He's using the Himalayan salt to pretend to get the ghost away, and then he's massaging her with it and everything. It's funny because even though he's a complete fraud, he is actually pretty good at massaging people, so at least he's providing some value to them, not just taking their money. But yeah, how to get some comedic relief in there. Reagan, all-timer. But yeah, I think that'll do for this reaction and review. I hope y'all really enjoyed that one. That was definitely my favorite episode so far. I'm glad y'all were here to watch it with me. Let me know what y'all thought about this episode in the comments down below. Like this video if you did. And yeah, hope you all have a really good rest of your day wherever you're at, and that you have a really good weekend coming up. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.